Alright guys, today we have a 2001 Lexus ES300, and this car has a check engine light, and the code is there's two codes here. One is hard to see. Let me see if I can get it. Alright, where the white area is hard to see, but if you can, let me angle it. Alright, the first code is 1150 let me repeat that, P1150. It says air fuel sensor circuit range performance, bank 2 sensor 1, and the bottom code is 1155. That's also air fuel sensor heater circuit fault, B2 sensor 1. That means bank 2 sensor 1. And if your car has this light on, the check engine light on, and that's the code for it. And if I start this car up, you're gonna see these traction light with it. Usually they come together, so don't worry if you got that code and both of those lights popped up. The traction light right next to the track off, right next to the check engine, that's normal because they all gonna come on together. So let's go under the hood. Under the hood, what does bank 2 sensor 1 means? This car has probably 3 to 4 oxygen sensor. So most cars have 4 if it's a 6-cylinder, but this car might have 3. I know Toyotas and Lexus, they put 3 sensors in it. Okay, however, let's see what we're looking at. All right, bank 2, what does it mean, bank 2? The bank 2 is since it's a V engine, so there has to be bank 1 and bank 2. Always, if you look at the belts on any Toyotas and Hondas, if the belt is here on this side, so the engine sits like that, that means the right side of the engine is that right side, that side, and the left side is this side. Always the right side is the bank 1, and the bank 2 would be the opposite side, which is this side. So if you have this code, we're looking at the sensor right here. We're not going too far with this. We don't even have to lift this car. So we're changing this sensor right here. This is the bad sensor. I reset the light on this car. I did a couple of tests on this car. If you reset the light, you crank up the car twice, that light pops off. So if that's the case, if your light comes on after like 2 cranks, it's a bad sensor pretty much. You can check the fuses, because I know these sensors, they have fuses, but eventually you might have to change the sensor. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the connector here. This is the connector for the sensor right here, and this wire goes down to the sensor here, and we're going to remove and change that sensor. Ready to remove this sensor, what you're gonna need is a tool kit, if you have this type of tool kit, and if you don't, you could use a number 22 right there, or just a little wrench. You have a lot of options. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if this loosens up. If it loosens up, then we'll disconnect the connector for the sensor. So we're gonna put our tool on, make sure it's angled right. This one seems like a very tight. So what we will do is we're gonna heat this up a little bit. Oh, be careful. You always gotta be careful, because sometimes when something loosens up, it just snaps. All right, so we have this one loose, and let's see if this is not too hot, because we haven't had the car running. This is warm, nice, and it's cold weather. It's good. It feels good. So there we have the sensor out, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the other end. We're gonna disconnect the connector. Connector is like hidden in there.
Got another clip here.
And there's a clip down there that's holding the wire, the routing. So it's gonna be hard to see, but let's see. See this little retainer right on the killer here, on the dipstick. You can use a flathead screwdriver to open that up. Clip that was holding it down, it just like it has teeth like claws. It just grabs itself. It works like a zip tie, but it's reusable. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna reach into the connector, right where the connector is. We're gonna disconnect that from right there. So you squeeze the little tab in the back and pull the connector, and it should come right up. So this is the connector here. You loosen it from the housing, and all you do is you squeeze it, and it takes a lot of strength to get that out of there. Sometimes you have to use a screwdriver to make it come out. There you go. Once you have that disconnected, you can bring out the whole sensor. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna open up the new sensor. A lot of times you end up putting a wrong sensor in there. You don't want to do that. So we're gonna look at the setup of this sensor and the new sensor. It should be same. These little holes in there. There's a hole in the front. So let's see. You see that? This is the same. It got a hole on the side, the front. You always want to check the length of it. Check the connector of it. It's a 4-pin connector. Same setup. So we're gonna put this in there. It's a good sensor. This looks about right. Alright, so we're gonna put the sensor in there. But this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten it first, because as we tighten it, the cable is gonna twist and turn, and we don't want to put the cable into a wrong angle. Oh wait, we forgot one thing. Let's go back out. We gotta put the NTC's little grease they send you with it. Alright, the sensor comes with this little grease. It's the NTC, so it doesn't lock up over time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip this open. And this goes around the thread here. You only want to put a little bit. The threads, he's gonna turn it, and I'm gonna just go around with it. Doesn't have to be too much. That's it. Now we're gonna put the sensor in there. So you want to twist it, get as many threads you can. And once you have that, you can connect the sensor on the opposite side. You should hit click. If it clicks, that's it, you have it. And then make sure you put it back where it belongs. And then the last thing is you want to take this little strap. Alright, you're gonna put the strap later. So we'll tighten this up, because we do, one second, the light is black and everything. Make sure you tighten the sensor also. You don't want to leave it loose, because it'll come out from vibration and then you'll have a loud noise. Nice and tight. And that's it. And I'm gonna give it a one last good snug. There you go. It's good. Alright, that's it. That's tight enough. And last thing is you're gonna put the strap on. It's very important to put everything back together, because if you don't, the sensor cable can touch somewhere hot and melt, and then you'll have the code back on. Maybe it'll run for a few months, and that's it. And after this, the light is not gonna turn itself off, so you have to reset the light. There's a couple of ways. You can get a scan tool to reset it. You could disconnect the battery for 5-10 minutes, and that should reset the light. The light, both of these lights should be gone. That was it. The check engine, the track off. Sometimes the ABS light flashes. That's normal. You just turn the car off and start it back on, and it should disappear. That's it. That's how you fix the code for this car, if you have that code.